You're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network of podcasts.
Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Secret Origins podcast. We have now gone unlimited. I am your host here, Joe and Mike, and joining me as usual is Lupus Convoy. Hello, sir.
Hello. Have we been going unlimited for 2 episodes now?
We've been going unlimited for 3 episodes now, but the reason why I've left that into the little intro thing that I say is because I frequently reference this just as Justice League Season 3. I don't reference it as Justice League Unlimited. Yes, I know they're technically 2 different shows because they revamped the entire show for Justice League Unlimited, but technically, honestly, it's the same damn series.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll change it maybe next episode. I don't know. So how are you, sir?
I'm not doing too bad.
Yes. And as of this recording, hopefully by the time this episode airs, I will have actually already received a package in the mail.
Yes, you will, with a delivery confirmation.
It's like, stock that stuff right now.
Actually, I kind of wonder if I should go through them, because the other 2 that I have could be different paint. They could be the sparkle instead of the flat matte.
What the hell?
Huh?
The hell are you talking about?
The RC figures, they had a running change. They had 2 different paint schemes. One was a sparkle plastic, and the other was a flat matte.
Okay.
Color.
Alrighty then, asshole. So, we are going to get into some episodes today.
Batman to all points. I could use some air support, since I can't fly. At all. Now would be good. The spiders are forcing us back, and the mothership is releasing mechanical attack tigers to protect them. Where's the Atom?
It's getting sweaty in here. Is that Batman?
Find Wonder Woman and get us down.
This is a losing battle. We destroy one, the main vessel breeds 3 more. Welcome to our nightmare. Can you help?
Look at those. It's amazing.
Ray, tell them what you told me.
These things build copies of themselves, using whatever material is around. And they'll only stop when everything is gone.
So this isn't just about these 3 towns?
No. They'll go coast to coast, and then across the seabed. They'll use rock, metal, plastic, plant life.
People.
Yes. And destroying the replicated machines isn't enough. You have to get to the system's core control.
We destroy the mothership.
You have to understand, making metal out of rock is a microscopic process. The core control is issuing instructions at an atomic scale. You can't just smash up a machine the size of an infection. Leave a crumb of it intact and it'll start all over again. You have to get me to the main ship. I have to go inside that thing and
First up, we have Darkheart. In Nevada, 2 rock climbers are scaling a mesa only to discover the Darkheart, an alien construct capable of rapidly converting raw matter into attack robots. With General Wade Ealing in command, the U.S. Army arrives to try to keep the alien robots from overrunning the region. The Army does what it can, but their weapons are useless against the alien threat, because it's the Army. The Justice League is called in, and Batman determines the aliens consume matter and reproduce then spread further. Batman uses an ice bomb to freeze the structure of the League itself. Freeze the structure, but the League itself fails to stop the escaping aliens. To buy time, Jean tells the League and Army forces to pull back, clearing the area for the Watchtower's, quote, binary fusion generator, an energy cannon, with the, quote, punch of a small nuclear weapon. The cannon fires, digging a trench around the mesa to halt the aliens' advance and buying time to evacuate a nearby town. Superman discovers that someone will need to get into the alien structure and destroy the Darkheart that is pumping it. Superman travels to Boston to retrieve the Atom, who is studying a rogue nanite. Superman tells him that he must shrink down to microscopic size and destroy the Darkheart. The two of them travel back to Nevada, and Superman hands the Atom to Wonder Woman, who will take him to the structure in a very strategic place.
Yeah.
The other League members attempt to hold off the aliens, giving Wonder Woman and the Atom some space. They finally arrive at the structure, and the Atom shrinks down and goes inside it. He accesses its memory and determines it's a programmed war machine that never was told the war is over. He finds that the Darkheart and attempts to destroy it by just punching it, but that fails. He realizes that by interrupting the blood flow throughout the construct, he can stop the Darkheart from operating. The idea works, and the Darkheart is neutralized moments before the League is overrun. The structure terminally ruptures, the drones shut down, and the Atom is able to make it out alive. The Army takes the structure away, possibly using it against the League now that they're aware the superheroes have an orbital weapon in the Watchtower. Atom fears that if Ealing tries to reactivate it, will destroy everything on Earth, just as it destroyed its creators. When Atom asks what could stop history from repeating itself, Superman assures that they would stop it. Your thoughts, sir?
Hiya, Movie Ravage.
Yeah, no duh, huh?
I never picked up. Well, of course, I wouldn't have picked up on it before, obviously seeing Revenge of the Fallen. But when I was watching this episode today, because I watched it as we were recording it. Well, I watched it right before we recorded, and I'm like, wait, the Darkheart doggies look like Ravage Kitty from Revenge of the Fallen with the one eye and everything.
Well, they say it's a tiger, not a dog.
Oh.
So that even adds to it.
Yeah, exactly. So Michael Bay stole ideas from Justice League. Michael Bay continually rapes my childhood like Starscream rapes metal bugs.
Yes, but your childhood likes it.
Ew. I've got something on board that may buy us a little more time. I bet you do, Batman.
Why do you need that? I had to freeze the Gotham Harbor once. Don't ask.
Yeah, and I don't remember that ever happening in DCAU, and I put out a question on the Earth2.net forums. You can go over to www.earth-2.net. There's a link on the left-hand side. Click it and join the forums. When I first joined their forums, because I listened to World's Finest Podcast, because Michael David Sims and James Doe, they're reviewing everything from the DCAU, including Teen Titans, which is not in continuity, but anyway. I made a thread when I first joined the forums of, WFP listeners stuff, randoms, like, thoughts, I don't know, it was thoughts, randoms, and other stuff or something. And I asked a question. I said, so is that comment, is that from anything, that event of him freezing the Gotham River? And Nightwing replied and said, no, it's just an offhand comment. It's an offhand story. It never actually happened in the cartoon history of the DCAU. So
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Joker dumped some Joker chemicals into the bay, and he had to freeze it all to do an extraction.
Yeah,
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, that could be it. I mentioned to you offhand or off air that there would be a very, very questionable remark from me in this episode, and why is it when I see that the shot of the Watchtower after Jean tells Eiling what it does? Why is it when I see the Watchtower like that, I think it looks like a giant cock and a cock ring? I
didn't think that, and you think I would see more of that than you.
I know.
Oh my! I can't believe that came out of my mouth on a podcast. I should
well, if you look, I don't know if it's still on Twitter. I thought I might have pictured. I don't know. I don't think I put it up there though. But I will later. But yeah, moving on from that. The binary fusion cannon reminds me of the satellite Joker used in Return of the Joker. Now, last time we recorded, or the last time we even talked about, before we were doing one of these shows, your assignment was to see Return of the Joker. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Don't! Anyway, the reason why I say that the binary fusion cannon thing with the ray down and the trench burning reminds me of the satellite from Return of the Joker is that the Joker has this Hyperion class satellite that can either blast single objects or it can turn into a single steady beam and just cut through stuff. Oh, anyways, you need to watch that, damn it.
There's a lot of stuff I need to watch.
Yes, you do. Ray Palmer in Boston. Yay, Boston! Yay. How's the trench holding up? What trench? Oh wow, that explosion Captain Atom did was awesome.
It was.
Yes, it was. The Atom safely tucked away in cleavage. Woo!
It'll make him happy.
Talk about copping a feel. That is actually probably going to be alternate episode art, which we will put in the episode post on Geekcaster.
You've had that for how long?
Huh?
You've had that for a while.
Yeah. When I first... It might have been when I... No, it wasn't when I first got the series on DVD. It's probably right when I'm trying to think. I think it was like right after Christmas, and I was kind of doing a watch through. It was before we really were going to start this podcast, and I was like, "Ooh, that would make such good episode art." Between Superman and Supergirl, I love the single rapid firing of the heat vision. So it's not just a single beam; it almost looks like heat bullets.
Ooh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And J.K. Simmons as Eiling is awesome.
That voice actor fits so well.
Oh, yes, very much so.
And I actually did a spit out because it's like, oh my god, it actually looks like him too.
Yeah, it does. So, what do you have for this one, sir?
Not a whole lot. The whole, I'm going to give it a massive coronary. That was actually pretty cool. I don't know how that would actually work with giving something a heart attack when you're denying it recyclable matter, but yeah, way to go.
Well, isn't it like...
Because when you're giving a heart attack to something, normally a coronary is a backup of the blood, giving nutrients and stuff to the heart that kills the tissue and then killing the heart. So I'm not sure how that would work, but I mean the whole idea of that. Okay, yay, way to go. It was still very cool. Yeah, just to see them totally go out of their way, and oh god, what else do I have? Yeah, just the all out fighting with all of the JLU members.
Yeah.
To see them not hold back. Because they don't, they actually show how destructive they are with robots and stuff, as opposed to people.
Right.
Can't show that stuff on TV, kids. But yeah, just seeing them totally blow everything away. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good Batman lines in this that I did not write down. I when I rewatched it, or when I watched it tonight before we recorded it, I just completely forgot to write down the Batman lines, but one of them is the rest of us will make a line here, and then one of the other ones was no one's gonna get killed on our watch or because of us, and then the other one was that I liked was Batman to all points. I need some air support as I can't fly at all.
Now. Right now.
Yep.
That was awesome. What else? Yeah, you can see that things are really starting to boil story-wise when they're like, oh, you have a what? Okay, why do you have that? And then, oh, we're not giving this to you. No, not after what we just saw you guys capable of doing. No, you're crazy.
Yeah. And to further, because I just uploaded it to Twitter, but to further my cock-ring joke, when it opens up, you could say it's almost uncircumcising itself.
Wow, I'm not... I don't even know how to touch that.
Talk about pulling the skin back.
Right.
Damn.
You got me speechless over here. So... That's all for me. Oh my.
Yeah, but this was a really, really good episode.
It was. See a lot of stuff start to happen, and you see where the story's leading to.
Oh yeah. Yep. Especially with Waller, and well, not really so much Waller, but no, that was last week's episode with Ultimatum with the rich boy quote. Never mind. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. Oh, and last week I made when we did our outro last week, I said four episodes, 2 that rock and 2 that suck, and I mentioned Wake the Dead in that. I meant to say the greatest story never told. I just now thought of that since I'm looking at the Wake the Dead notes. I'm like, oh shit, that's a flub. I'm definitely going to have to write that in the description. Oh crap. Oh God. Do we have anything else we want to bring up about Darkheart?
No, not right now.
Wow, that one went quite down a hole. So we're gonna move on.
It's your move, Hawk Girl. Check in 5 moves.
We'll see.
Diana told me you used to regularly beat Batman. Difficult to believe from the current pitiful level of your game. I should have known better than to expect a proper challenge from a woman. Such scintillating repartee. I'd get better conversation from the android.
You are aware I'm in the room?
Check. I win again. Huzzah.
It's just a game.
You disgust me.
Join the club.
Next up, we have Wake the Dead. A group of students at Louisiana University perform a sort of magic ritual to get even with some bullies. Candles are lit and the floor is decorated with a rune while the spell is chanted. A dark cloud comes out of the floor in the middle of the rune, but one of the students stumbles backwards when a menacing face appears in the cloud, breaking the circle of sand with his foot. The cloud and the face disappear, and all the candles are blown out. But far away, a grave-marked Solomon Grundy begins to rumble. The students call the ritual a rip. 2 of them leave, while a third starts cleaning up. Someone starts pounding on the door. Before the student can open it, a large white arm crashes through and grabs the student by the head. In Dr. Fate's tower, Shaira Hall and Aquaman are playing a game of chess with Amaza, watching. Shaira is withdrawn and takes a little interest in the game, or in the conversation. Aquaman tries to goad her without success. He wins, and she walks away saying, "It's just a game." Aquaman wonders aloud to Fate at what has happened to the fierce warrior Shaira used to be. Fate says she's just trying to find her way, after the Thanagarian invasion and her subsequent ousting from the Justice League. Fate then excuses himself when he senses something, and Amaza challenges Aquaman to a new game. Shayera talks to Fate's wife, Inza, out in the garden, existing on a different dimensional plane. Shayera says that Aquaman thinks she's been here too long, but she honestly doesn't know where her place is or who she really is. Inza assures her that she'll know when to leave and what to do and when the time is right. Meanwhile, at a fashion show, Vixen walks down the catwalk and winks at her guest and boyfriend, Jon Stewart. They meet backstage where Stewart tells her that their date is being canceled because of the Justice League business. She comes out in her costume and Stewart takes on his Green Lantern costume. They fly to the trouble spot to see a police car being thrown into the air. Lantern catches it and lowers it to safety while Vixen runs to the scene. Grundy has returned and appears stronger than ever. He easily defeats Lantern and is about to attack Vixen when Superman arrives. Superman tries to reason with Grundy, who seems beyond communication. He attacks Superman and gains the upper hand. Back at Dr. Fate's tower, Amazo defeats Aquaman at chess again, and they prepare for another game. Dr. Fate appears and informs them that Grundy has been raised from his grave by chaos magic, and is more powerful than ever before. Hearing, Shayera says that they have to help Grundy before the League kills him. Grundy continues to pound Superman and a punch sends Superman flying into a bridge support. As the bridge begins to collapse, Aquaman rises from the ocean atop an enormous octopus that wraps its tentacles around the supports, stabilizing the bridge. When a single car goes over the edge, with a mother and her young daughter inside, Hawkgirl swoops in and tears the roof off with her mace, then pulls the passengers free. As she sets them down up top, she sees Jon for the first time in months, and Superman emerges from the water. Superman suggests that he, Fate, and Amazo tackle Grundy first, but Hawkgirl asks for a chance to reason with Grundy because she knows him. They agree, but the new Grundy is a mindless beast and slams her into the wall. The heroes attack, and Amazo says that he will end it. He unleashes his power on Grundy, but finds that the zombie can absorb it. Deciding it is too dangerous to let him absorb more, Amazo teleports several light years away to come up with a better solution. The heroes attack again and take a bad beating until Hawkgirl hits Grundy with her mace. She gets the upper hand and smashes him through the street into the sewers below. The heroes reconvene, and Fate reminds them that this Grundy is not the Grundy they knew, only an empty shell of rage. The only thing to do is destroy him, and Hawkgirl's mace is probably the only weapon that can do it. Jon offers to do it, but she insists on doing it herself. She flies down and fights Grundy sitting. She tells him to close his eyes and raises her mace. Up top, Jon paces anxiously, and Superman says he's about to go in, but Hawkgirl flies out. She tells the group that it is done. A crowd is gathered, and a reporter then asks Hawkgirl what she thinks her efforts might earn her if it's reinstatement in the Justice League. Superman addresses the reporter, and Hawkgirl is surprised to hear that the League voted to let her remain, and that Superman broke the tie, and that she can return whenever she wants. At hearing that, several members of the crowd shout angrily that she is a traitor. Jon starts to shut them down, but Hawkgirl says she deserves their abuse. She walks off, but her hand is grabbed by the mother and daughter from the bridge, who thank her for saving their lives. Jon smiles and says, "You deserve that too." And the heroes walk away. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, I really only have 3 notes for this one. First note, unfortunately, was outside of the Shayera stuff, Shayera coming back and all that really stuff, I really don't care anything about this episode. And then there was the bits with the android and Aquaman plus Vixen, snide remarks, and dirty looks at Shayera. I like those as well. Also, when Jon and Shayera first see each other, she says, "I hate the beard."
I like the beard.
Honestly, since watching this back and really, because as I said before, I think I've said it before in this episode, I got this episode and Dead Reckoning mixed up. I thought this episode was Dead Reckoning, and I kind of enjoyed Dead Reckoning, but that doesn't come till way later. But on a whole, this episode kind of really sucks. Especially the Grundy stuff. It just doesn't... I don't know. I don't know. What do you... Hopefully you have more notes than I do.
We already know the answer to this one.
Nah.
But it's not the answer that it would be normally coming up. I do not have much notes on this, but that's because I'm retarded and didn't think to write anything down. Okay, so from what I recall, first off, you got the giant octopus coming up. That was really cool, but Aquaman just killed an octopus, man. If it's that big, it's got to be coming from way down low, and it shouldn't be used to that type of pressure. The pressure differential should have killed it, made it explode. That's a scientist in me talking. Okay, so the mystic in me is going to pick up all those goddamn kids and just collectively smack those bitches. You do not go meddling with shit that you do not know. Especially something big, bad, uber mystic. You just don't do it. Don't meddle in shit, kids. Okay, that being said, now that that side of me has come out and, taught the younglings of the world, seriously, like, the whole breaking of the circle, I want to know what the fuck they just summoned. And that wasn't sand. That was supposedly, like, according to the ritual that they were saying, powdered bones of wolves. That pissed me off. I'm like, what? No, that's not. Who the hell do you think you are, kid? Okay, so I will say that it was very stereotypical for it to be a bunch of kids that are D&D geeks. And the fact that they left their dice, that just made me go, oh, that's a low blow. Really? Way to stereotype, guys. It's a valid stereotype, but still. Damn. I want to know exactly what the hell that it was that they summoned, and is that going to be coming back later on in the series?
Grundy? No, he's not.
But what they summoned?
No, I don't think so.
See, lost potential for something in the story.
I know.
It was very emotional, like the episode. Like, we're really into the characters. You got Shayera trying to figure out where exactly she belongs, what to do. It was nice to see the dichotomy that, okay, yeah, John's moving on with his life, he's Mr. Badass Green Lantern, he's getting it on with the Vixen. All right. Oh, here comes the ex-girlfriend. And here comes the really awkwardness between the new girlfriend and the ex-girlfriend.
Yep.
And oh my god, it's going to be a bitch fight, quite literally, with the fact that it's Vixen.
Yeah.
She can make one hell of a cat fight. The fact that during one point she actually said to John, you know what's going to happen. Your favorite movie is Old Yeller. Don't make me spell it out for you. Overall, this is one of the high story point episodes, in my opinion.
It is, but at the same
development point.
I understand that, but it's mainly Shire and John having the character developments.
He's dead, but
but Grundy, Fate even said it. He's
just a shell.
Yeah, and it's like, really? That's the best they could come up with? I mean, I get the fact that obviously Shayera is the one to eventually put him down and everything else because her mace is the only thing that can hurt him. But still, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, I really don't like it because it just doesn't, character development aside, to me, it just doesn't fit in with the League episode, the Unlimited episodes. It does and it doesn't. Obviously, we get a lot of closure with them revealing the vote and everything else, but I don't know. Continue.
I think that's most of it. I didn't quite catch exactly what the family, the mother and daughter, were saying to Shayera at the end, and I don't know if they were trying to say hot girl in Spanish, like chica aquila or something like that. And I heard the chica part, but I didn't catch the last part of it. And I didn't know if they were trying to, if that was a nice nod to the voice actress.
Yeah. Probably, since she is, well, she's part Hispanic, so.
Yeah. What else? Okay, so I did not realize this until you pointed out that the voice actor for Amazo is none other than Robert Picardo, the god that he is.
Now I have to point something out to you now that I'm reading the trivia for this episode. Amazo's voice has distinctly changed since his last appearance, and now sounds more like Robert Picardo's natural voice.
He sounded more Picardo.
Okay, well...
It threw me. I'm like, oh my god, they changed the voice. What?
Well, when you first told me about, the changing of the voice when we talked about it off air before we started recording this episode, I'm like, I thought you meant there was a different... Like, it used to be somebody else, and they changed it to... Thought. But no, it's been Picardo the entire time Amazo's been in every Justice League episode he's been in. So, Picardo may have changed the voice inflection, is all.
The entire time, it just made me think of the emergency protocol droid from Voyager. That gave me lots of, happy
Wait, why are there protocol droids in Voyager? Isn't that a Star Wars thing?
Hologram. Emergency medical hologram.
Okay, I was going to say, wait a second.
Yeah, which in itself is just an awesome character. And you all can hate me for liking Voyager. I liked it. It gave me joy.
At least, hopefully, you don't like Enterprise.
We don't talk about
that. So is that a yes, you no, don't like it, or a no, you do like it?
Evil.
Okay, there we go. It's evil, just like Guy Gardner.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Nice to see Inza. The Justice League again, as I will continue to call them. Yeah. It's nice to see that there's this whole segregate section of quasi-league members.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, all in all, I liked it. I thought it was a good episode. Oh yeah, what else? Superman trying to rationalize with Grundy. We've done this, Grundy. You don't have to do this. I can take you. Wham! No, Superman, you're weak to magic. Forget about that. No, lobotomizing him will not fix the problem. But yeah, that's all I got.
Uh-huh. So I think we are going to be moving on.
You've traveled about 50 years into your future.
And the Watchtower?
It's gone. We lost a lot of good people that day.
You mean Superman? Jean? All the others?
Yeah. You too.
And the Batcave? This is all we have left now. Deal with it. Surprised to see me? A little. I'm more surprised that I lived so long.
Batman, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, Batman. Or have you met?
Not now!
Great. What did they used to call it? Stereo?
This is a little weird for everybody. I'm Warhawk. Rex Stewart.
Your mother? Who is she?
Kind of obvious, don't you think?
Even if it isn't, leave it be. You don't want to know too much about your future.
Trust me, you really don't.
Shiera was one cranky pregnant lady. Although, to be fair, if I'd laid an egg that size...
He's kidding, Dad. Not that I understand why you think this is anything to joke about.
Because we already won. Think about it. If old Bruce is here, that means he already lived through this as Batman.
Flawless logic. Except that I have no memory of ever going to the future and meeting my older self, or of anything else that's happening today. Those historical buildings we saw on the street. The timeline's been polluted. So polluted that history itself has become...
And finally up today is the Once and Future Thing two-parter. Part 1 is titled Weird Western Tales. In the future Gotham City, Ian Clinton scolds her husband David. Shut up.
Sorry.
You know, if you reverse her name, it's Dine Clinton, so it's basically they're telling you to eat Clintons. Ooh. Yikes. That might be hitting a little close to home there. Oops. I just noticed that with her name, though. Wow, this episode I've really gone off the cuff. Oh boy. I'm not even looking at that yet. I gotta finish reading this. About clogging up their garage with his collection of historical artifacts. Timidly, he tries to explain their importance. They are originals that he retrieved from the respective time periods using time machine he built. Enid's initial amazement turns to fury, and she delivers an even more blistering scolding, saying that he could have used the machine to make them rich and powerful instead. You invent a time machine and you can't think of anything useful to do with it? He shouts back, I can think of one thing, activates his machine, and disappearing into a time portal after claiming, I can use it to get away from you. Now, I don't really know the deal with... I don't really know the deal with the I don't see this as future Gotham, where they are. I honestly don't.
It could be any future place, honestly.
Well, I mean, Gotham, obviously. I mean, fine. If it's Gotham, but I always thought that this beginning scene was in the present, like in the present right now. Present day as it's happening right now. I didn't realize that the Enid and where Enid and David live. I didn't realize it was in the future.
I got that vibe when they did the external shot. Yeah. Just because of the architecture, it seemed like it was something out of Batman Beyond.
Yeah, it could have been. In the present day, Batman and John Stewart are lunching in the Watchtower's commissary. Though Shire has rejoined the League, John denies any awkwardness, claiming he has moved on and is now seeing Vixen. And he quickly accuses Batman of having an affair with Wonder Woman, to which he calmly denies but admits Wonder Woman's a good traits, only for Wonder Woman to overhear him and seductively tells him to keep digging. Shortly afterwards... Oh, damn. Why am I, now after reading that line, why the hell am I envisioning reading a Harlequin romance novel with the two of them in it? Oh, Christ.
I could write one for you if you want.
I bet you could. Throw a little Superman in there for a threesome, though. Oh, God. Wow. The last 2 weeks for episodes, I've gone really off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's wrong with me. Shortly afterwards, an intruder alarm sounds. The three of them find David trying to steal one of Batman's utility belts. He escapes into a time portal, and they follow. They arrive in the middle of the Oklahoma Territory in 1879. After turning the tables on a trio of highwaymen, they adopt cowboy clothes and ride to the nearest town, Elkhorn. Right away, they see what is wrong. The new quote-unquote sheriff, Tobias Manning, and his thugs are equipped with radically advanced weapons. After losing a hand of poker, Manning throws his opponent in jail. The League go to break him out, and he introduces himself as Bartholomew Aloysius Lash, a.k.a. Bat Lash. I just now got that. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's horrible. His cellmate is David, who explains that Manning stole his time machine, and he's been using it to pooch advanced technology from the future and make himself ruler of the town. Wow. Why am I flashing to Phineas and Ferb, and basically... Tobias is Doofenshmirtz. He's only wanting to rule the town, not the entire world. As they leave...
You have to start small and work your way up.
That's what she said. As they leave the jail, they're attacked by Manning's thugs, who are overcome by a sort of Wild West Justice League to which Bart belongs to. Jonah Hex, El Diablo, and Ohias Smith, the former sheriff of Elkhorn. Banding together, the new and old leagues travel to Manning's headquarters in the desert, and his men confront them with the arsenal of bizarre weapons, including robotic dinosaurs, main battle tanks, and android exoskeletons. They overcome his men, and Smith personally bests Manning in a knife fight. Freed, David snatches the time belt away, disappears into another portal. Again, Batman, John, and Wonder Woman follow him. This time they arrive in the future Gotham City and immediately confronted by the Jokers, Bonk, Chucko, Dee Dee, Ghoul, and Wolf. They are soon joined by that era's Justice League Unlimited, Batman, Static, and Warhawk. As they square off against the Jokers, Warhawk catches sight of John and says, "Dad?" Dun dun dun!
Don't know.
Oh boy.
What's your thoughts, sir?
Oh jeez. This is epic. Bruce Timm frequently states that they never thought of like storylines, like continuing storylines from season to season until they started Justice League. And damn, for this to be a season ender, because this is the final episode of season 3, this two-parter is.
That was a quick season.
Yeah. Well, and that's why on the DVD set, on the single season DVD set, Justice League Unlimited season 1 is billed as seasons 3 and 4 to have 26 episodes on 4 discs. But it's really 13 episodes per season.
Still.
Yeah, still. Why is it that this whole opening scene with David and his wife reminds me of Transformers collecting and toy collecting in general? Yeah. Hi, Michael Wilson. Well, the only reason why I say hi to Michael is because his wife basically told him, you can have one collection and one collection only.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen, Michael. That's what my husband says, and no. See, you just have to start with one little figure and be like, look, honey, it was 86 cents. And then just keep building on it slowly.
The whole cafeteria scene with Batman and NGL, that's just awesome.
It was great.
It was just awesome. The banter between the two of them throughout this entire two-parter is just so epic.
Oh God! Like, nope. I moved on. I went with Vixen.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So how are you and Wonder Woman doing?
Uh-huh.
She's a valiant call. Sure. Yeah.
You're not supposed to see me. No one is supposed to see me. Now, I took a screen cap of his list of Mr. Kronos or Kronas or whatever the Chromass or Chrome Bits or, yeah, whatever he's going to call himself in the future. I took a picture of that, or a screen cap of it, and where is this? Here it is. Let's see. Open with. I took a picture of it, and it says, I think it says M's dress, Napoleon's vest, Washington's.
Who is M?
Huh?
Who is M?
I don't know. It's either M or W. I can't.
No, I mean, I know it was M, but the question is, historically speaking, who the hell is M?
I don't know. Napoleon's vest, Washington's teeth, and Batman's utility belt. Now,
because that seems like they all go together. Maybe the dress and the belt. Maybe he wants to make a smashing combo. I don't know.
I honestly don't know. Now, we also need to bring up, and I mentioned this, I believe, in episode 13 of this podcast, about how I thought it was weird. Yeah, I mentioned it at the end of the initiation episode. I think it's very weird seeing Batman just walking around or just being in the Watchtower in general, because when you think Batman, especially this Batman,
you think the Batcave.
You think he's holed up in the Batcave somewhere. But it's just weird to see him like this. And where are we? Where? I think the question is when. Yeah. And then my next note came in this scene when they get into the little saloon there, and they're discussing what to do, you know, whether they're going to break Bart out or whatever. And And my note was, Wonder Woman wears the pants in this relationship, even if he is the goddamn Batman. Ghostly GL. Yeah. That was awesome. That was funny as hell.
Okay, you can't tell me that wasn't a total Scooby-Doo moment.
Oh, no, it still was.
Really? Like, even the ghost, I'm like, wow, that was Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it so was. Yeah, it so was. Wonder Woman makes one hot cowgirl. Yeehaw!
Oh, God.
What?
Just it made me think of something that I'll bring up in a few minutes.
Oh, boy. Go ahead. Give me an excuse. Damn, even without the tights, Batman is badass. And of course, my final note obviously takes place in the future time. Static? What's going on? Dad? Dun dun dun!
Yeah.
What about you? What do you got?
These boots are killing me. You fight crime in heels. Yeah, heels that fit. Oh, God. Seriously, like, Enid is insanely stupid, honestly. You've got a husband that's going through time, stealing items of historical value or historical connection, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck can't he sell some of those?
Because it would affect the timeline. It would change history if he sold it.
Would it?
Yeah.
If it's stuff that was going to be destroyed or thrown away anyway?
Well, I mean...
Cleopatra's comb.
Oh, okay, well...
You could claim that as being a different... belonging to somebody
right,
else.
But like
so,
one of the original drafts of the Magna Carta, that's a historical document.
Okay, I can understand not selling that, but something, a thrown piece of jewelry that's going to be destroyed anyway? Really? You couldn't just take that back and sell it to an antique dealer? Really, Enid, way to be supportive of your husband. Really, you're a bitch. You get exactly what's coming to you. Really, you do. I think other than that, everything else has been covered. No. Okay, so I'm a sci-fi geek. I'll be proud to admit that. But when Ben Broder showed up as Batlash, I squeezed. I heart Ben Broder. He is freaking awesome. Ever since Farscape, he's my buddy, yo. He's my man. And then add on top of that, Adam Baldwin, and he was playing Jonah Hex, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. Let me look it up.
But regardless, I saw Adam Baldwin in there, and I squeed. I was like, yes! 2 of my man crushes. I am happy.
Let me look it up here. Let's see.
And on top of that, I'm not a huge Jonah Hex fan, but the fact that he was like, oh, you two seem like time travelers. I'm sorry, what makes you think that? I had an interesting life.
Yes.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was. And yes, Adam.
Well, I was looking forward to having one of those fancy ray guns. You don't want one of those. They'd jam up.
Yeah. And yes, Adam Baldwin was Jonah Hex. Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, if they had said something about his favorite gun being named something from, I don't know, say Firefly, I would have been just on the floor going, yeah, this is awesomeness. But all in all, they pulled off a weird Western tale fairly decently. I was really liking that.
Yeah, you have the banter between, honestly, it's not even Superman anymore because Superman isn't even in this episode. But you have banter between Batman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. So, it's just, that was awesome. The Western stuff was awesome. I like how the cameras can't see them on the cliff, but the robot can. That really makes no sense, but it's just funny.
There's a recall issue with that one.
Oh, jeez. Just such an awesome and a very epic way to end it. They have perfected their cliffhangers, as we've stated before in this show. They've always done fairly well with them, and this is no exception. Considering you have somebody who looks like Shiera in metal calling John Dad.
Only masculine and manly. And
yeah. Yep. So I think that's all I have for this part. On to part 2, which is subtitled Time Warped for the Once and Future thing. The Jokers have been upgraded with cybernetic weapons that are advanced even for that time, and with the combined Leaguers have no choice but to retreat. Let's see. Batman tries to open up a boom tube, but his mother box is destroyed. Static creates a blinding light, followed by John Stewart creating a maze to distract the Jokers. They return to the ruins of the Hamilton Hill High School, which serves as headquarters for what is left of the League. The three who have already appeared, plus the aged Bruce Wayne. Warhawk introduces himself as Rex Stewart. Lantern asks who his mother is. He replies, "Kinda obvious, isn't it?" They explain that Clinton has decided to emulate Manning and make himself a warlord in his own time, now calling himself Lord Kronos. In his previous time travels, he had been careful about not disrupting history. Now he has abandoned that restraint, poaching technology from the future and historical monuments from the past, all to transform Gotham into his personal kingdom. The Watchtower and most of the Justice League, including Lantern and Shiera, were destroyed years ago. Static figures that since old Bruce is still alive, and logically they would have already won as he has already lived through it. Unfortunately, old Bruce doesn't remember his younger self go through time, meaning the timeline has become so polluted that history itself has become fluid. They then decide to compare notes. Meanwhile, in the Titanic, Kronos is suspicious to how the future Leaguers were able to intercept them. He brings eyes on Chucko, and then opens up a time window showing Chucko accepting a bribe from Terry. He punishes Chucko by sending him back to before the dinosaurs went extinct. Then he sends the rest of the Jokers to search for his enemies. Dine, or Enid, then calmly tried to remind him of his restraint not to harm time by taking important things. He states that he can handle it. She then asks he let her mother out of quote-unquote the thing, like he promised. He considers it, but doesn't like the fact that Enid and her mother said that he'd never amount to anything. As a result of Kronos' recklessness, the serious disruptions in the space-time continuum have begun. To Batman's horror, Diana fades away in mid-sentence just as she suggested that they could prevent everything from happening in the first place. Now she never left Themyscira, or worse, was never even born. There are even signs that the universe itself is moving towards entropy. Batman is able to make a program to shut down Kronos' time belt, but they need to find him first. He figures the old ways are best. Despite Terry's warning that Gotham is changed, he asks his older self if all the villains are still superstitious and cowardly. The answer is yes. The Combined League captures Ghoul and Batman interrogates him. Older Bruce is disgusted that he was that green and shows himself how to really interrogate someone. He says Kronos moves around each night, never staying in the same place, but he knows where his wife sleeps. In the middle of their search, John Stewart phases out and is replaced by, yes, Hal Jordan! No Guy Gardner for you. Woohoo! And silence.
I muted myself.
Because you were probably cursing me. Who says calmly, I'm up to speed, carry on. A short while later, Hal fades away and John comes back. Again, yay, no Guy Gardner. The League confronts Enid staying in a pyramid poached either from ancient Egypt or Las Vegas. She is contemptuous of her husband, as before, though now she is also afraid of him. She says that his moving around is a myth. He always stays in the same place. Ironically, that place is the Elkhorn Town Jail, which he has poached and planted in the middle of the Colosseum. Apparently, it's the place where he feels safest. Kronos wakes and summons the Jokers in an ensuing battle. Static is sucked into a suddenly appearing time portal, and Terry is killed by Dee Dee. As the universe itself starts to collapse, Kronos disappears into another time portal. Lantern and Batman follow and see he is now heading to the beginning of time, which will enable him to rewrite history of the entire universe and become a god. As they hurtle towards the source, they catch up with Kronos, and Batman plugs in a program he has written to debug his time machine and its effects. They are still heading towards the source when Batman and Lantern open their eyes. They find themselves in the Watchtower cafeteria. Wonder Woman joins them, having no memory of what they've done. Lantern and Batman are the only ones who remember what happened. Lantern sees Shire and remembers what Warhawk said about his parentage. Lantern asks, what about Kronos? Batman, smiling, says he reprogrammed the belt to ensure that Kronos would never come to exist. In the future, Enid delivers the same scolding she did before as before. David angrily activates his belt to get away from her and jumps back in time to a few seconds ago at the beginning of Enid's scolding over and over and over again. Oh, damn, I love this two-parter.
Poor guy. Honestly, I don't think he deserves that.
Hey, look, it's Darth Maul as a clown on a roller.
It's creepy.
There's evidence here of the... yeah. It's not really splicers. It's not splicing. But there was an episode of Batman Beyond called April Moon, and they were prosthetic enhancements, and those are what are in this episode for the Jokers. And the Batcave, this is all we have left. Deal with it.
Yep, and he knows that Batman would actually... The younger Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, the younger Bruce Wayne would deal with it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know what you mean. Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman, or have you met? Not now. Great.
No, in stereo.
Stereo.
Is that what they used to call it?
Yeah, stereo. I am Warhawk, Rex Stewart. Your mother? Kinda obvious, don't you think? Shira was one cranky pregnant lady.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Now, it needs to be stated that Warhawk is not, or never was, an original comics character. They specifically created him for this show.
I will say, however, that he does look eerily like Jango Fett.
Ugh.
He does. When he takes off that helmet, he's got the same skin tone, same hair, same look in the face. And we know this did come out beforehand, so...
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see, what else do I have here? But the JLU showed up. This is the only instance where the League...
Where it's called the JLU.
This is the only instance in Justice League where the League is referred to as the JLU, besides the Call two-parter in Batman Beyond. But other than that, this episode and that episode, or this two-parter and that two-parter in Batman Beyond, that's the only time they ever called JLU. Dear, do you know what would make me happy if you'd let my mother out of the thing like you promised? It's just that it seems so cruel to keep her there so long. I want to know what the hell this thing is.
I bet it's a time loop. Honestly, having to watch the same thing over and over and over. Oh, wait, we saw that. That, or it was stuck in a Black Mercy plant.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. Wow. interesting. Where's Kronos? My arm's getting tired. I can't believe I was ever that green. This is how you interrogate someone.
And they black it out, and then he just spills his guts.
And I wet my bed since I was 14. Yeah. Wow. Batman playing good cop. Everything's relative.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Get away from my kid.
Best line.
The Green Lanterns have a legend no one can see the beginning of time. It is a universal law. Write him a ticket.
Would you really want a ticket from him? Really?
The timeline has been restored. We are the only two that remember what happened. That complicates things. Yeah. Kronos will have never existed. Dun dun dun. What about you, sir? What do you got for this one?
Well, Warhawk, even I was just kind of like, all right. Yes, sir. But yeah, I've already commented about how he looks like Rex.
Yeah.
Or Django Fett, 'cause they're all related. They're all freaking clones. God, it's like a J.C. Hutchins novel again. Other than that, Ghoul, I like Ghoul. His look is just freaking awesome, but that's because I'm a Halloween freak.
You know who was voiced by?
Who?
Michael Rosenbaum.
That's right. I remember seeing that, and I'm going, wow, that was Lex.
Yep. And it was also Flash.
Right.
See?
It's all relative.
Yep.
Yeah, Terry, you could tell he was having fun with the whole, two Batmans.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, this is going to be great. The DDs, they're kind of creepy but cool.
See, that's the thing, though. You need to...
I didn't watch a lot of Batman.
I know.
Unfortunately.
And that's not what I was going to say. You don't really need to watch a whole lot of Batman Beyond because really they only show up in Return of the Joker.
Movie? Now, did they have the ability to split before?
No. It was just two of them in Return of the Joker. So their modification that Kronos gave them was the multiplying power.
Creepy. I mean, it's like dealing with Multiple Man.
Yep.
Really. And speaking as someone that is a twin and has to live with twins, my God, that would get annoying real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since you have the same name. I don't know, Dee. Oh, look, real gentlemen, they're extinct. What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to watch the Return of the Joker just so I understand what the hell's going on with the whole Joker thing. Oh, I can't believe this guy took down the Joker. Really, you're gonna learn real quick, bud. But yeah, all in all, I mean, it was a good. I feel bad for Kronos having to deal with that, but this is the first time we've seen. No, second time we've seen some really religious overtoned imagery.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you see the hand of, I'm assuming it's supposed to be God, with the whole Big Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of threw me. I'm like, okay, so that's interesting. Okay. Why can't people see the beginning of time? I don't catch that, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Well, they say, if he gets to the beginning of time, he can rewrite everything. And that also comes back to what Lex tells Brainiac in Divided We Fall when they join forces. Their goal is to destroy everything and start, not really go to the beginning of time, but the whole point is to find a way to go to beginning of time or something. Maybe I'm not saying it right. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's all I got. Saga.
Yeah, this was a hell of a way to end a season. Not just the cliffhanger between parts 1 and part 2. This was a hell of a way to end a season of television, or a season of a cartoon.
So now, how's he going to break up with Vixen?
Well, we will definitely explore more of the John. I keep saying John, the Jon Stewart, Shiera Vixen love triangle.
Well, don't feel bad about mixing that up, because
we do it all.
My roommate's name. We do it all the time, but my roommate's name is John. So every time we record the show, he's like, "You guys are talking about me, aren't you?" Well, yes, we are. You superhero, you. Rawr.
Oh man! All right, so we are gonna go to the outro.
Enid Clinton,
We've got business with your husband. What?
John?
Hal Jordan, another time shift. I'm up to speed. Carry on.
Okay, I'm starting to get a migraine.
We better get used to it.
That's it for Season 3 of Justice League, or Justice League Unlimited Season 1, whatever you want to call it. So thank you for joining us here on the Secret Origins podcast. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. Join the forums, PredicateEmpire.com/Nexus. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. Showing there is Secret Origins. Mine is TFG and Mike. What is your Twitter?
Oh, you're going to make me spell it out again.
I don't make you spell it.
Caminiti style. CAMINITISTYLE.
And what you say?
Baseball player.
Become a fan on Facebook. Search Geekcast Radio Network. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Secret Origins podcast. I wish you'll join us next time when we will be recapping Justice League Unlimited. For now, I am TFG and Mike with
Lupus Convoy.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.